Here we go, week 15. No more buys. We got a full slate and history on CBS. We've got Bills, Pats. We've got Packers, Broncos. First day this century that one network airs multiple teams on 10-plus game winning streaks. Patriots and Broncos, both underdogs as well. How about that? How'd you guys do last week while I was gone?
Fast forward to.
I did okay and better than Kyle.
But you know what? I have to stop looking at the top number and just keep focusing on that middle number overall.
Yeah, well, that middle number's going in the opposite direction.
You had it above 500 last week, and then
come on.
Then you went 4-11.
This game's hard.
I would have had a winning week if it wasn't for Pete Carroll kicking a field goal on the last play of the game.
Sorry for all the kids getting pulled out of private school this week because their parents are failing me.
Pete Prisco, Kyle Long.
You're eating peanut butter sandwiches all week if you're tailing Kyle.
We're going to pick every game against the spread beginning on Thursday Night Football, a battle in the NFC South. The Bucs coming off that stunning home loss to the Saints at home against the Falcons.
Look, the Bucs are not playing good football. Baker Mayfield the last 2 months has been really bad, and that's why I think he's hurt. And I think he's hurt worse than he's leading on. He just doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look like he's making the throws he was making early in the year, and that's concerning. So the offense hasn't been the same. They don't rush the passer all that well. They went out and signed Jason Pierre-Paul to the practice squad this week. I mean, they have all kinds of issues, but the Falcons have way more. And I think the Falcons are looking at Cancun, Bermuda, Cancun, by the way.
That's where I was last
Well,
week.
they're following you. They're all looking for vacation outs right now. They're not playing for anything. And I think the Bucs are, and I think the Bucs are focused in the game at home. I think the Bucs here.
Yeah, the team with something to play for here, and that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for Baker Mayfield, he's playing for redemption on the brand of football we've seen the last 4 or 5 weeks from him. And for a guy who started so hot in the season, you want to see him finish well. I think this Bucs team rallies. I think they find a way. I love Todd Bowles. I always have. And I think he'll have this team focused after the letdown last week.
One thing, when you look at the Bucs, you say, okay, well, where are they right now? They're tied for first place. But if they beat the Panthers twice, and they know this in the back of their heads, they're going to win the division no matter what. And everything they do right now is to get ready for the playoffs. Everything. They're going to get guys back.
Build confidence.
Mike Evans will be back. They're eventually getting these guys back. And they did lose their left guard again. So the offensive line is in flux again, and that's always a concern. Wirfs didn't play last week either. So health is a major issue with this team, but I think in this spot, it's a great spot for them to kind of get right.
They've got the Panthers 2 of the last 3 games of the season. These guys like the Bucs to cover, though they have failed to cover 5 consecutive games. They think they'll turn it around this week. Thursday Night Football to kick off this huge week in the NFL. We've got your show on Sunday mornings. Kyle, we tried not to cut your head off this week, but we still did.
Every week. Maybe by week 18.
That represents how much brain power I'm
maybe
using.
By week 18, you won't have your head cut off.
Amanda wearing her camo for Army-Navy week.
Wow.
I could barely see her right there.
NFL Today Plus Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on HQ and Paramount Plus. Here's our early slate on CBS.
Come on.
There it is.
What a huge slate of games we have. I mean, I put our games up against any of the primetime games this week. And it's got to start with that matchup in the AFC East. It's the Bills and the Patriots. The last time these two teams played, the Patriots had won 1 straight. They come into this game having won 10 straight.
It's a good football team, and a well-coached football team by a really good football coach in Mike Vrabel. The quarterback's playing at an MVP level. In fact, right now he probably would be the MVP.
He's the favorite.
But I like Buffalo. I think what we saw last week was what we need to see from the Buffalo Bills. Here you go, Josh. Go win it. Go do your things. Become Superman. Everything you have to do. And we're going to play loose and free. Forget about turn and hand the ball off to James Cook. Bubble screen to the side. No. Play loose. Play free. Play wild. And look what happened. They came back and won the game. They got momentum. Then they got turnovers. And they ended up winning that game. Bottom line is they can't do the way they think they can play with their defense being what it is right now. And that means you can't just win with running the ball. They have to let him go. I think they do. I think they will in the spot. I like the Bills.
It's really easy to play loose and free at home when you're losing, and the all-pro quarterback on the Cincinnati Bengals throws you a couple freebies at the end of the game. I know Drake May ain't going to throw any freebies to this Bills team, and I know that Mike Vrabel is stressing the point that we've got this Buffalo Bills team on the ropes. You beat them in Buffalo early in the season in the whiteout. That was an awesome game. We talked about that earlier in the season in primetime. Now you get an opportunity to really pour concrete into that stamp mark you made early on in the season. Go win this football game. I've got the New England Patriots. I like that we're on both sides of this because I could see it going the way you're talking about, because I too watched Superman take off a couple times and got to have it moments in that football game. But Drake May, completion percentage, explosive plays, leadership, belief in that locker room. They feel like the team of destiny right now. Give me the Patriots.
See, the last time they played them, they manned them up across the board. Their defense was really good, and they limited him. So they're going to have to get creative to get guys open against that, because they can't just line up and win against them. They don't have the receivers to do that. But I think this is going to be one of those games where you dictate tempo to that defense rather than they dictate it to you.
The Patriots clinch this with a win.
Yeah.
The Bills get within a game with 3 to go if they get this win, which you think that they'll do. And a couple times in the last 5 years, the Bills have come from way back. They won the AFC East 2 games back with 4 to play in 21. They won the AFC East 3 back with 5 to play in 23. Pete, if they win this game, and you think they do they come back and win this division?
It's possible, because but again, the Ravens and Patriots play the next week, and that's the one game I think that you'd have to think that they would have to lose. The rest of the schedule, the Jets and the Dolphins at home, so I don't think they're going to lose those.
Dolphins have been rolling, though.
They have been. They have been, and yeah. Look, it's possible, but here's the other part of the thing. If they go in and beat New England, it just serves notice to everybody else in the AFC. That's the team you don't want to play in the playoffs.
All right, let's go to a couple of teams. One we knew were going to be in the playoffs, the Kansas City Chiefs. One we were unso sure about. Well, it's flip-flopped completely, and it all started week 1 when the Chargers beat the Chiefs, and now Kansas City is sitting here, 4.5-point home favorite, but they're going to have to win out. They're going to have to get some help. Sportsline puts it at 6%. A 6% chance Kansas City makes the playoffs.
Well, I think that's a little low, to be honest with you. And when you look at it, look at their schedule. I mean, the schedule's not daunting.
The problem is they need other help.
They need to win 2 home games against 2 good teams. That's basically what they need to do. They need to beat the Chargers, and they need to beat the Broncos at home. Then look at the other 2 games. Those you count those as checkmark wins, right? At the Titans, at the Raiders, they win those games. So if you beat the Chargers this week, and you beat the Broncos, and you run that table, there's a good chance you're going to get in, because the Chargers schedule is brutal too, and you'll have to get that win and knock them down a peg. So it's possible, and I think it starts. Look, the quest will start this week, because I think they win this game. And I said it last week, I'm going down with the ship, but the Chargers are on a short week too. I mean, that's always a challenge when you play on the Monday night and then you got to go back out on the road. And they didn't look great on Monday. The offensive line got just beat up, and I think their defense, which hasn't been great, the Chiefs' pass rush hasn't been great unless they blitz. I think they'll get after Herbert. He did some amazing things running the football, but you saw every time he got up, he was grabbing that hand, trying to protect that hand. I think Spagnuolo will throw everything at him, force him to get the ball out of his hand, and I think the Chiefs will win the game.
You and I both know that with the Chargers' offensive line situation, Spags probably doesn't even need to pressure these guys, to pressure Justin Herbert.
Well, they haven't rushed the passer very well, though, this year.
With the gentleman they have at the line of scrimmage, wearing that powder blue and gold, okay, they're having a hard time blocking, the bag man at the grocery store right now.
True.
So if they're going to be going against any of these guys front 4, I have concerns. Spags lights him up with a little pressure. I could see opportunity for Justin Herbert to take advantage of this thing. Saw it earlier in the season. One thing that the Chiefs struggled to do against Justin Herbert at the beginning of the season was contain when he did take off running. And we saw him run a little bit last night. Give me the Chargers here.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say. Give me the Chargers.
Okay,
to win the game?
Plus 4.5, but to win the game as
Give
well?
me the Chargers plus 4.5.
All right, but you're not going to say they're going to put the death knell on the Chiefs.
Chargers plus 4.5. I'm not putting the death knell.
He didn't sprinkle the money line on top.
I've watched enough TV shows to know that when you get the villain down, you got to put him out. I haven't seen anybody completely put him out yet. There's not a 0 next to their playoff chance, so I'm not burying them completely.
We did an exercise upstairs where Pete picked every single game result the rest of the way, the final 4 weeks of the season, and lo and behold, the Chiefs were in the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they made it.
That's why you can't, never say never.
You never know. I mean, they win out, they have a real chance to get in the playoffs.
They've got a shot, but they've got to win out. All right, let's go to the Jets and the Jags. And this is the first of several large spreads this week. 11.5. Pete, the Jags are laying their most points since 2007.
This could be a trap game. They played the Colts last week, beat the Colts. They play at the Broncos next week. And say the Broncos lose this week to the Packers, that game could be for the number 2 seed in the AFC, as crazy as that sounds. So you got to be careful with this one. But unless they turn the ball over, and they're not doing that right now, they're playing good football. Particularly Trevor Lawrence, he's playing really good football. For all the people who criticized him early in the season, and I was one of them, he wasn't playing very well.
What's changed?
Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers coming to that team. He trusts him. The offensive line played really well last week, and they're playing better. And Jacoby Myers has made the trust factor part of the equation, but also he's done a great job with Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas was a shell of himself. Brian Thomas came out of that shell in the last 2 weeks, and you could really see it last week with the big plays down the field. The passing game's much better. I think defensively, they lead the league in run defense. And you look at them and say, how? Because they're not great when you look at the personnel, but they do lead the league in run defense. So I think this is a game, unless they turn it over, they blow them out. And I think they, unless you get caught peeking ahead a little bit, but I think
I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars as well, and I think you pointing to BTJ's resurgence here in this offense is really all you have to look at when you're watching the Jaguars to tell you where they are as a program. And obviously, Jacoby Myers comes over, one of the guys with the least drops last year. He comes over, and that's where that trust comes in. It's like with all these talented players in your locker room, sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. A guy like Jacoby Myers is just kind of on the horizon all the time, and I think Trevor Lawrence has benefited from that. Give me the Jags.
Liam Cohen is in the Coach of the Year conversation. I mean, he's done
It's really turned around here in the last month or so for the Jaguars. All right, that's also at 1 o'clock Eastern time on CBS, as is Ravens at Bengals. Ravens now a game behind the Steelers. They've dropped back-to-back games, and that slide started on Thanksgiving against these Bengals.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get back at the Bengals this week. The Bengals went into on Thanksgiving. They still had a hope and a shot. I think losing last week kind of ends that. I mean, they still technically got a shot, but I don't think they're going to be able to make that run. I think the Ravens go in there, and we saw Lamar start to play a little bit more like Lamar late in the game when he had to. And, he threw a touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely that should have won the game. I mean, that was a touchdown, and it got called back. They didn't score there. They had to kick the field goal.
How about the throw to Nuke Hopkins that got tipped by Mark Andrews?
He made a great defensive play, Mark Andrews.
Boy.
But I think we saw him move around a little more, and he started to look like Lamar Jackson. I think they go in here against the Bengals, and I think it's high scoring, by the way. It's going to be a high scoring game, but I'm going to take the Ravens here. Survival. They need it.
Throw the brakes on here because of what you just said. Survival, they need it. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, the petty kings, okay? Get after the Ravens, sink their ship. I know that the Bengals are in hot water, and that's just the way.
Well, if they run the table, they could win a division at 8-9. Right?
Go win the game. If for just only the fact that you're beating the Ravens and you're saying, oh, you guys are a little bit downtrodden right now, let me contribute to that.
Can you imagine an AFC playoffs without the Ravens and the Chiefs in it?
No.
Before the season, if you would have said that,
we're in a simulation.
Right, you would have said you were nuts, but that's entirely possible.
Absolutely, and as of right now, that would be the case. Ravens with just a 24% chance to make the playoffs as of now. They win this, though, and it goes over 35% to win their division. All right, those are the 1 o'clock games on CBS. It's a really deep late slate as well, but here are the picks from the guys. They agree on a couple. Just one. It's Jacksonville.
Make or break.
I'm fishing now, baby.
You better catch me this week, because if you don't, you got big problems.
Jacksonville minus 11.5 is the pick for the guys that they agree on. The other 1 p.m. Eastern time games include some big spreads as well. Texans laying 9.5 at home against the Cards. Eagles laying 12.5 after laying another egg this past week on Monday Night Football.
This whole slate is trippy to me. That's some of those numbers are crazy.
This was a tough one for me too. A lot of them.
Well, let's start with the Chicago Bears, who are 7.5-point favorites against the Browns. They went from the 1 seed in the NFC all the way to the last team in with that close loss to Green Bay. That's how tight things are.
The sky is falling. That's just football, bro. Right. That's just how it goes right now in the season. Chris, And I'm not panicking on the Chicago Bears because they went up there and they performed well enough to go win. They didn't make the play at the end of the game to go put themselves in position to tie it, but I'm not scared of where this Bears team is headed. I don't think they are at all. One thing that does concern me a little bit, that Browns team, they've got a little bit of offense now. Shedeur Sanders has showed me something. And you and I have talked about this, and at times I can be a little bit tongue-in-cheek with my support of Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, as a football player's son, I want to see a guy like Shedeur succeed. He's out there balling, bro. He's having fun. You can see it from his teammates. They appreciate it. You can hear guys that he's competing against, like Jeffrey Simmons last week, who, by the way, Shedeur Sanders throws a touchdown. He beelines about 20 yards back to go talk to the all-pro defensive tackle, Jeffrey Simmons. He says, perfect timing. And Jeffrey Simmons after the game is like, I kind of respect that psycho-ass dude, okay? We need more guys like that in the league.
I don't mind it.
The Browns have it. That excites me. But I'm a Bear, okay? And this Bears team is looking to take the football away. So Shedeur better be careful with it. And they want payback on a team after this past week's win.
Shedeur played well last week. He also played the Titans. And this week he goes on the road against the Bears team. That's a pretty good Bears team. Now the defense had some
boom or
busts.
bust defense.
Right. They had busts last week. And, you know, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson got caught in a bunch of bad situations and couldn't stay in man-to-man. They got to keep him out of that. I think this is one of those games where you look at it, and I think the Bears are going to respond and get back and play good football and find a way to win this. One thing about last week, the dominant Browns defense didn't look as dominant at times last week. Tony Pollard ran wild against them, and so that's a big concern heading into this game. But so I'll take the Bears. I think Shedeur Sanders will. This is a tougher task on the road. I mean, and some people say they're setting him up for failure. I don't buy that. He wants to play. He should
loves
play.
That.
He should be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season at least.
And in gotta have it situations, you gotta stop taking him out of the game.
That was dumb. Really dumb.
How do you make sense of that?
There's no sense.
Don't.
You can't make any sense of that.
You don't. And if I'm an offensive lineman, you're going to hear from me when I come to the sideline. And when I'm out there on the field and I hear that play call come in, I'm going to make it known in the moment that I am disgusted by that. And I would hope that other guys in the
It was
huddle
terrible.
do the
It
same
was a terrible
thing.
play call. One other thing, if the Bears had scored, were they going for two?
You would have to think that you got to go for the jump.
That guy does it, right?
I was assuming that they would go for two if they finished that thing off and got within one of the Packers. Just a little bit short on that pass from Williams, but got to win this game to get back on track here against Cleveland. These guys think the Bears will cover the 7.5 as well. All right, let's go to the Texans at home, -9.5 against the Cardinals. Texans rolling right now. They've won 5 straight, and it's a really favorable schedule the rest of the way.
It is, and I think it's going to work out one of two ways. I think either the Jaguars win a division and the Texans go play them in the first round, or the Texans win a division and the Jaguars go play them in the first round. I think it looks like it's going to play
Colts
out
are
that
out.
way. Yeah, I think it's going to play out that way. And the Texans' defense is special. Nobody throws for 200 yards against them. Nobody. And when you look at it, that's hard to do in this league, even though the numbers are down across the board in terms of the yardage numbers for quarterbacks. That's still really hard to do.
They're suffocating people.
And why are they suffocating? Because they can rush with 4. And when you can
cover.
rush with 4 and cover on the back end, it really makes it tough to hit those chunk plays in the passing game. And I think that's been a problem for teams. And their offense is starting to show some signs of life. The offensive line has been better. So, yeah, I think this is that Arizona team is just depleted by injuries. That defense is awful right now. I think the Texans blow them out here.
As a former player, I can tell you that there are definitely teams that may not be the best team on paper, but they are definitely the team that you don't want to play. And we use this far too often when having conversations. This Houston Texans team is one that you do not want to play. It's one that even veteran quarterbacks don't want to have to line up there and game plan against their pressure packages, against their ability to win with 4, against their plastering second and third level of the defenses. And now you get a guy that we thought to be a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League coming along, and the offense is moving along. This Houston Texans team, the number couldn't be big enough. Give me the Texans -9.5.
Yeah. How many times does Jacoby Brissett have to throw it to get to 200 yards, Pete?
52.
He'll get to 200 yards because they'll be trailing the whole time. They'll get to 200 yards. But their defense is a mess right now.
All right, 9.5. Again, it's another agreement here in the other 1 o'clock games. Eagles, another loss. They're keeping the Cowboys in it in that NFC East, but they've got the Raiders coming in town. the positivity rabbit is going to work this week.
That is the dumb. If I was an Eagles player, I would have flown home, gone to the locker room, and sliced that thing up in about 2 seconds. Get that thing the hell out of the
He's
locker
got a knife.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Aside from when Jacksonville's coach put an axe in the locker room and the punter cut his leg off almost with it. That really happened. You guys ever heard that story?
No.
Yeah. Chopping wood, Jack Del Rio put an axe in the locker room, and one of the punters went to go hit it, and it cut his leg. It cut his leg. Yeah, it truly happened.
That is so brutal.
Yeah, and the positivity rabbit is really stupid. If you're a player and you walk in and you see the positivity rabbit on a Tuesday, what are you doing?
I feel like we're being punked. I'm like, where's the camera? No, honestly, this Eagles team, they need to have a long, hard look in the mirror and figure out how to respect the football, understand that the players on their team are good enough to win football games. When you break the huddle, you usually know whether or not you've got the dudes to go win the football game or have success in the drive. And I'll tell you what, for the most part, when this team breaks the huddle, they've got the guys, they've got the coaches. You and I love and trust Vic Fangio, his ability to position his defense in the right way. And let's face it, Jalen Hurts, even though he vomited all over his sweater last night in prime time, this is a guy that's been to the top of the mountain. And he's outperformed some of the people that we consider to be Mount Rushmore candidates at the quarterback position. So, am I panicking about the Eagles? No, but my stomach's a little upset about it, and this is kind of the way I felt for years about this team. But they have to find a way. Give me the Eagles to handle their business. 12.5 is a lot of points, but my, oh my, the Raiders are the Raiders.
The Raiders are awful. The Raiders are awful. But do the Eagles have a Jalen Hurts problem? Ooh.
Last night they did.
Well, and look, when you ask him to throw it around as much as they ask him to throw it around lately, because the receivers complain all the time and moan and groan, then you have a Jalen Hurts problem. They got the lead last night. Why didn't you give the ball to Saquon Barkley? Give the ball to Saquon Barkley, give the ball to Saquon Barkley, and go home. When they got down on the goal line, they ran Saquon Barkley once. Then what did they do? They threw on second down, got a holding penalty. Remember that? Run the ball with Saquon Barkley. If you get close, then you can do your tush push and get yourself the play call. Get yourself a touchdown. The play calling has been awful, and I think it's bled over. They play in the shotgun the entire time. The entire time they're in the shotgun, and it just doesn't work. You got to be under center some, and so I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. But having said all that, this is get right time.
Yep.
The Raiders are awful, and they played a little bit better on defense. You know, Crosby can wreck a game, and we know that. He can be a game wrecker. But offensively, the Raiders are so bad, and their offensive line, you know, we talk about the Chargers' offensive line. The Raiders' offensive line, as constructed right now, is worse. And so I think the Eagles get right here.
Let me tell you a little bit about what he was talking about with under center versus gun. As an offensive lineman, I appreciated under center plays because it forced the linebackers to respect the run. When you are in the gun, and I'm doing the token run fake. You know, you've seen the quarterbacks fake it while they're looking down the field. They pull it and then they throw. Or they hand it, depending on what these defensive linebackers are doing.
The RPOs, yeah.
When you're under center, they're all moving downhill. And that stuff becomes even more dangerous because guys are scraping hard and fast, and guys like Jalen Hurts can keep it and take it out the back door. They have had issues not dominating at the line of scrimmage. And if they don't clean that up, if they don't figure out a good balance of run and pass and what is actually working, they're going to be in the same hot water they're in offensively week to week.
I mean, Barkley rips off the long touchdown run on a tush-push fake or whatever it was, but he doesn't really touch the ball.
Great blocking on that play,
Oh, it was
by the way.
fantastic. They held.
Yeah.
Well, they got away. The offensive lineman never says they hold. They don't hold. They don't hold.
It's good block.
Get right week, both on the the Eagles as well. Let's move on to the Commanders and Giants, and these are games right here that somebody you think has to win, but maybe it ends in a tie. 15 consecutive losses between these two teams. 15 straight. Who you got?
It's amazing that you could see a team go from the NFC Championship game to what we're seeing now for the Commanders. So was last year a mirage, and this is who they are? I know the quarterback's been hurt, but there's much more than just not having the quarterback in there. The defense is awful. I mean, they are really bad. And I just think that there's one of those years where you're going to have to step back and reevaluate everything. You know, Deebo Samuel's on a one-year deal. I think he's gone. I mean, they just have problems on this roster and problems on that defense. They don't rush the passer very well. And you see so many. They made J.J. McCarthy look good last week. Think about that. He looked good throwing the football.
9's fine.
Yeah, well, when you play that team, I could be under center and complete touchdown passes.
Both of these teams are in a spot where they have youth on their football team, things to be excited about in the future. Jaden Daniels with the Commanders, he was in the MVP race last year. That quarterback up there is doing pretty good, Jackson Dart, in terms of popularity. Guys want to play for him and play defense on his team and protect him. These are the weeks in the season when you talk about, 20 straight losses, 15 straight losses?
15 straight.
That's disgusting. If you can show up and play competitive football and show me you're flying around with your hair on fire, you can be part of something special down the road. And I truly believe both these franchises will get a lot better. But right now it's ugly. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, give me the Giants as well. I think Dart will play well here. I mean, it's a 7-on-7 game when you play that defense. They're not very good on defense.
This is where you learn about the core of your football team these weeks right here.
Whose future are you more bullish in?
Giants.
The Giants or the Commanders? I mean, that's crazy.
Who's
you would think
coaching-
it was crazy to say it.
Who's
coming off
coaching
of last year,
Who's
but-
coaching the Giants next year? That's the question. It's hard to say how bullish you can be, even though you like Jackson Dart, without knowing who the coach is.
You got Neighbors and Scadaboo.
Right.
who are in-
They-
I'll take that defensive front. I'll take that young
which hasn't played as well either.
take
I mean, you got one guy that didn't even get to play the first quarter because he doesn't show up to team meetings.
What gives?
I mean, come on, you can't do that.
Off-field stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, this should be the first time in 21 divisional games that the Giants are favored.
My God.
Look at all this agreement now. After the disagreement in the other games,
Well,
Pete's
we're
trying to
also laying
preserve the
tons
lead.
of points in this segment, which is never a good thing in the NFL. No.
Yeah, you're all on all the favorites
Yeah.
in these games, including the Giants, who are -2.5. All right, late slate has a lot of games this week and some doozies, including Lions at Rams,
Doozy.
and Packers Broncos on CBS. One of 5 late afternoon games, and they're all kicking off at the same exact time, 4:25 Eastern. So let's start right there. Packers Broncos. It's the Broncos, the 1 seed in the AFC, against the Packers, the 2 seed in the NFC. I mentioned we did that little exercise with old Petey Pants picking every single game the rest of the way. He has both of these teams ending up with the 1 seed in their respective conferences.
Yeah, and I think the Packers are going to win this game this week. I think the biggest thing that the Packers have done is set Jordan Love free. And I've said it. I remember sitting in the set on Thanksgiving, and I said, if I'll know 2 plays in if they're going to win the game. And they set him free. So he plays so much better when they play loose, up-tempo, and let him dictate to the defense. Yeah, he made a terrible throw into the middle of the field early in that game. Awful. But he responded with a bunch of big plays. And that big play ability makes you hesitate as a defense. They're going to run by you. Christian Watson is really playing great football. You get Reed back in the middle of the field with what he can do. Dobbs can catch the football. They still haven't gotten Matthew Golden going, and I've heard he's been banged up a little bit. But the bottom line is this team can score, and if they score, what do? They turn those pass rushers loose. And Micah Parsons, talk about a game wrecker, he can wreck the game. So I worry about Denver's offense more than I worry about any other unit in this game. So I'm going to take the Packers to go in and win it.
If the Broncos do win this game, it will be because of a Herculean effort by Bo Nix. And we have seen him get better and better as the season's gone the last 2 years. And the thing that really put him over the edge for me in terms of having a competitive chance to win every week is his ability to stay alive in the pocket and to break contain at times. And we've seen it in recent weeks. He's making some throws outside the pocket, arm angles, working his way at the second and third level of the defense. The Packers are a great football team, but I just really love the Broncos. I think that this Bronco. I know, I'm not there yet. You're pointing at the paper. I'm not there yet. I love this Broncos team. I know a lot of people don't believe in Bo Nix, but I do, and I think him and Sean Payton have something special.
Who the hell are you picking in this game?
That being said, I am picking the Packers this week.
By the way, here's the problem with Bo Nix. He completed, I think.
But you better get Bo Nix down because he will make you pay.
But
dude.
here's the problem with Bo Nix. He completed 31 passes for just over 200 yards last week. and you put on the tape and you see there's some shots down the field, and he's taking checkdowns and bailing out, and it took a sack on one of them. They have to start hitting those down the field plays. Because look, it's great you have that defense, but you're going to have to. What's the best way to make that defense that much better? Take a lead, score, dictate to the other team.
Like what you said with the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love, he plays free and loose early.
Then you let Nick Bonito go when you do that. And so I think that he's got to start hitting big plays. If he doesn't, they could end up with the 1 seed and go out early in the playoffs.
People in the YouTube comments, they keep track of who you always pick and who you always pick against. Do you know how many times Pete has picked against the Packers this season?
None.
1 time.
Wow.
1 time.
Well, they're 9-4-1, right?
Was it the Lions game?
Yeah, but you're not picking straight up. You're picking against the spread, and you're 6-6 when you pick the Packers.
Early against the Lions?
That's because they didn't listen to me in those early games and let Jordan Love set him free.
Set him free!
Set him free!
Oh, yeah, the Browns. The Browns beat the Packers.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, let's move on to the Colts and Seahawks. That's also a game on CBS. We might be seeing a grandfather start at quarterback for Indianapolis.
Pete?
Pete doesn't have any kids.
No kids.
I don't even think he has cat grandchildren.
No, and you don't have any kids either. We're childless.
We're good.
Childless.
We're good. But Phillip Rivers has been signed to the practice squad because we don't know if any Colts quarterback is going to be healthy with Riley Leonard dealing with a knee injury now.
Brett Rippon, he's there. Let's not forget about old Brett. I mean, look, this is a desperate
Maybe
team.
Mark Rippon will come out and play.
Well, he's about 65, I think. So he's
He's
right in that age bracket. Look, this is a desperate team that probably wasn't going to make the playoffs, at least in my mind, with Daniel Jones. Because I think the schedule is just a gauntlet. Running through that schedule, you look at it, it's Seattle. It's, at Houston late at the last game of the season. You have the 49ers and the Seahawks. No, the 49ers and the Jaguars. How are you navigating through that after this Seahawks game? So I just think they're going to be in big trouble no matter who plays quarterback. I hope it's Phillip Rivers because I want to see it. I love the guy. But I want to see what his arm has left. I want to see if he can make any throws. Look at that schedule. Are they out? Are they going to? Every one of those teams right now would be in the playoffs. Are they making the playoffs?
200-foot ice wall in front of them.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And now the questions start about the organization again. Does Chris Ballard come back? If they don't, he traded 2 first-round picks for Gardner. I mean, you know what? That move's going to be really, really scrutinized now when you go into the draft and you don't have a quarterback and you need to get one. I mean, think about it. Daniel Jones probably won't play when? Week 8? Next year maybe? And what do you do with his contract?
Bare minimum week 6.
You can't give him a contract. You got to give him, maybe tag him, and if you tag him, that's a big chunk of change for a quarterback to take up on your cap space. So they're in a bad situation right now. Seattle's playing great football on defense. This is a tough spot for no matter who plays quarterback. I'll take Seattle.
This is why I'm picking the Seahawks, and 13.5 doesn't scare me because they bludgeon teams, okay? You look up, it might be 10-3. They may be losing early in the game, but you go get yourself a little snacky. You come back from the kitchen, and they're up by 25 points. And the defense is suffocating offenses. And the offense is moving with efficiency. And Sam Darnold's looking like a high first-round pick, number 1 pick. That's what you want to see. Give me the Seahawks here until they show me 2 weeks in a row that they can't do that. I'm not going to say.
What little snack are you going to get, by the way?
So many snackies, a lot of kid snacks. I destroy my kids' snacks.
You should see the disgusting stuff he gets upstairs at our little cafe. It gets like a burrito.
No, you eat a burrito out of that machine?
I'll eat anything in there. Man.
By the way, the only thing that could slow the Seahawks here is they play the Rams on Thursday night next week.
Oh, yes.
Following week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peek ahead. Peek ahead.
Is that going to get loose?
No, I don't think so.
Should we tight?
Yeah.
Tight.
Second division game. You know how when they play them the second time, they're usually tight.
No secrets, yeah.
How do you say that?
Tight.
Seahawks with a short week. They host the Rams on Thursday. LA has a much tougher game than Seattle does this week.
This is going to be awesome.
They're at home against the Detroit Lions, and it's a 5.5-point spread.
This is the 2 quarterbacks they were traded again, playing again against each other. Matt Stafford got back on track last week. And again, he's playing against a defense that's not very good, but he needed to. He did not play well a couple weeks ago at Carolina. Last week he was phenomenal. Puka Nacua is sensational, and they can score on anybody. The Lions have defensive issues. We've seen that. You saw Jordan Love lit them up on Thanksgiving. I mean, they've had all kinds of issues on defense. The Cowboys scored on them, and they didn't win the game, but they scored on them. I think this is a problem for the Lions. I don't know if they'll be able to keep up, so I'll take the Rams.
This one's got Matt Stafford written all over it. This one's got Sean McVay just finding a way to outclass his opponent all over it. And I think that while the Lions, they have the ability to be explosive on offense and they can make some boom or bust type plays defensively, I trust the Rams roster, offense and defense right now. I trust their quarterback and I trust their coach. Give me Los Angeles. 5.5 doesn't scare me.
7 straight agreements between you two. 7 straight games you've picked the same.
We're going to
team.
get on a heater then this season.
Yeah, let's go. I'm going to catch you, though.
Pete also likes that thing to get loose.
Loose!
Well,
Yeah, it says it right here.
Loose!
Let's go now to the Titans and the 49ers. And look, the 49ers are just a game behind the Seahawks and the Rams. So they're sitting there ready to pounce. They're coming off their bye week.
And have an easy schedule.
Yeah, at the very least, they look like they're a for sure wild card team despite all those injuries.
And kudos to Kyle Shanahan. Never won Coach of the Year. Never. Wow. And you could make a case that he should be in the mix this year with what he's done with this team. Tons of injuries, 2 top stars on defense, both down. The quarterback missed a ton of time, hadn't been right at all, I don't think, this season after the injury. And yet here they are with a chance to make the playoffs. In fact, they will make the playoffs. So you look at their schedule, they're going to make the playoffs. Titans, back-to-back road games.
Back-to-back road games!
It's never good, and they won, right? They won a game. Now they got the call from above. Me and Jamie Eisenberg always talk, don't win anymore. We need to pick higher. So they're going to go out there and just get whacked by the 49ers. Coming off a bye, by the way. It's another bad combination. Team, back-to-back road games, coming off a bye. I should have made that my best bet. I didn't, but I like the 49ers a lot.
He's not going to get Coach of the Year, but if he did, they would hand it to him, and then he'd slice off about half of it and give it to Rob Saleh.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Keeping this thing together. Look, I mean, all the things you said about the Niners, I want to.
By the way, Kyle's not giving half to anyone.
I want to echo those. I want to echo those sentiments, and I think down the stretch here, maybe put Christian McCaffrey in like a bubble, make him bubble boy here, keep him fresh. Get those legs freshened up for the playoff run because that's where the Niners are going again. Give me San Francisco in this one.
Gosh, you guys, that's 8 straight you've agreed on.
You're going to pick Cam Ward and the
8
Titans
straight?
right now?
Well, last week they won, but you back-to-back road game
against a team coming off a bye. Bad combination on the West Coast. There's so many things working against the Titans.
All right, Panthers at Saints.
Oh, and
also
they're the Titans
too. 4:25 Eastern. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Hey, look, the Saints, they helped out the Panthers last week, and now they'll look to return the favor and maybe help out the Bucs this week.
And Dave Canales said he watched it and he was all thrilled that he was rooting for the Saints, and now he's got to face them this week. And I think this Saints team, look, Tyler Shuck has done some interesting things, and maybe to the point where the Saints go into next year's draft and they don't draft a quarterback. I mean, he's a big, strong, powerful kid. He ran the ball last week against the Bucs, did some really good things. And remember, they went to Carolina and beat the hell out of the Panthers, a month ago, and just dominated them.
Yeah, week 10, they won 17-7.
Yeah, and he just dominated them from start to finish. And so I think this is a great spot for the Saints to win a football game at home. They're playing tough, physical brand, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, and I just think they'll find a way to win it. I'll take the Saints.
You know what's great about the Saints right now? And if you are a Saints fan, you go into the season with all these questions about the quarterback position, and this guy named Tyler Shuck comes in, and he plays good enough for people not to just berate him week to week, and I think that's awesome. I kind of like these guys that fly under the radar. Obviously, a lot of questions in a lot of cities about the quarterback, including the guy they're going to be playing against for the Carolina Panthers. Give me the Saints in this game. I like what Kellen Moore's done. They've been competitive all season long, but then again, you got to watch out for that Panthers team because they've beaten some really good football teams this year, but then they've looked like the Panthers.
Yeah, they're up and down. They're a young team. You know, the consistency is tough with a young team.
Well, they've been terrible as a favorite. They are 0-11 against the spread their last 11 games.
Got to learn how to win.
Gotta learn how to win, Brady.
Add that in there.
All right, that's 9 straight that they've agreed on.
That's not good.
9. So I've never seen a streak like this. Even when old Brady Quinn Medicine Man was in that season.
This is bad news.
Speaking of, did you see Brady going off on social media about Notre Dame?
Yeah. Yeah. Relax, kid.
Unbelievable.
Join a conference. Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Get one of Kyle's gummies.
Or better yet, beat Miami.
All right. Sunday night football. Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Coming off a 31-0 win against the Cowboys, who aren't dead just yet. Eagles keep losing. Cowboys 12% chance to make the playoffs, according to Sportsline. Dallas laying 6.5 in Big D.
By the way, I'm just getting the visual of a Viking longship pulling up to like Galveston and a bunch of Cowboys being there defending Texas. You know, it's kind of cool. I think it's cool.
Well, that could be
Good
graphic.
visual. Yeah.
Maybe get somebody
Next
to make
time,
a graphic.
Get on that. That being said, I got the Cowboys. I don't think 9's going to do it 2 weeks in a row.
I don't think 9's going to do it 2 weeks in a row either, but I think Brian Flores is going to do some stuff to slow down the Cowboys a little bit. I think they hang around in this game. I don't think they win it. I think the Cowboys win it, but you're giving me a bloated number, 6.5. With Flores and that defense and the ability to kind of cause some havoc for the offense of the Cowboys, I'm going to take the 6.5.
You still think Cowboys have a chance to make a run here?
I mean, the Eagles keep going in the wrong direction, but the problem is the Eagles' schedule's really softens up in the next couple weeks.
This feels like a game where they're going to have answers to Pete's point. Brian Flores will have answers to the Cowboys' offensive test, and it won't matter because George Pickens is just a freak show. And I think that
well, when he shows up,
after the way that everybody challenged him this past week, and after guys, at desks like the one we're sitting at had a lot to say, it got him going a little bit. I saw him on social media. I fully anticipate this will be pay-per-view Pickens.
Yeah, he got into it with Richard Sherman, by the way. Richard Sherman called him out, and he went back at Richard Sherman and said something about not being all-pro. And Richard Sherman said, I went to about 6 all-pro.
Yeah.
His name's all-pro
By the
6 times.
time you were here.
Come on. Hey, George, look, Richard Sherman blocked me on Twitter, so I'm not saying anything.
Whoa, Rich, this is my guy.
But the bottom line is Richard Sherman was a really good football player.
And
People block
Stanford
you,
man, too.
Do you block them back?
No.
Just out of spite? You don't?
No.
You
The
seem like
best
one
way
of those
to
guys.
do it is to you
Mute them.
block them and then unblock them
Yeah.
so that without them knowing, now they unfollow you. They don't even see their stuff.
Oh.
And I don't have to block because I don't give them the time of day to be like, oh, he blocked me.
Now, I remember back in the day I had two of the Legion of Boom block me. Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor both blocked me.
I blocked both those
I'm
guys.
still going, guys.
Oh, Petey Pie. Still going strong. What are you, 40 years in now at CBS? Is that what it is?
25.
Oh, 25. That's right.
40.
All right, that's Sunday Night Football. These guys, how did you get front row in this shot, Pete?
Seniority.
Handsome.
Old man.
Game day recap, Sundays at 8:20. The best recap of everything that happened in the early and late windows on Sunday, and this is a huge week for that.
Could be if I was in the back, you wouldn't see me either. I mean, so little.
That's true, you'd be covered up. All right, Monday Night Football. Dolphins have won 4 straight.
This is going to be wild.
Steelers coming off a huge win against the Ravens. But here's the number. You're going to be hearing it all week. Every time the Dolphins go up north. They've lost 13 straight with game time temperatures under 40 degrees.
What was the temperature in New York on Sunday?
43.
Yeah, so barely.
Well, this one's going to be way below. As of right now, it looks like temps in the teens when this game kicks off in Pittsburgh.
But this Miami team is different than a lot of those teams that have gone out on the road because they don't throw it around like they used to. They're more of a running team now.
They have an offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Paul's been great. He's been one of the best left tackles in this league. And they can run the ball. Achan's a little banged up, so that's a concern. And when your top running back is concerning and you're playing in these kind of conditions, that doesn't bode well. So I'm going to go with the Steelers here. I love what I saw from Rodgers and the play calling last week. They did some great things scheming up wide open plays. And if you looked at it, the one touchdown, to Warren, there wasn't a soul there, and he could have thrown to the tight end. Freiermuth, who was also in the middle of the field wide open. And so I think they've kind of got a way of grasping Arthur Smith's offense now. Defensively, I still don't think they're good, like in the Steelers sort of way. But I think with HM being a little banged up and the fact that it's going to be so cold, I don't see Tua throwing the ball around in this game. I'm going to take the Steelers.
I like what I've seen from the Dolphins.
I do too.
I'm picking the Steelers here, but I do like what I've seen from the Dolphins. And it started with me in the Bills game when they were able to just run the football to win at the end of the game. And more often than not, it was on that left side of the line where that gigantic left tackle Patrick Paul is. I say gigantic. I mean, I went and saw these guys practice against the Bears in training camp. And Patrick Paul came. I was walking down the road from the facility to the field. Patrick Paul was walking down the road. I had to get off of the road. It was like a truck was coming with one of those houses behind it. You had to be a little truck in front of a big truck, and then there's a big house and another little truck. That was Patrick Paul on his way to practice. When they run the football with intent, and their center, I think his name is Brewer, the center.
Aaron Brewer's playing great football.
Badass. That guy is like Jason Kelsey with a little bit more. He's very stout. Okay,
but he's short and
little guy can run, and wherever Patrick Paul goes, he's coming right behind. So you get hit with a cannonball, and then just a bunch of shot. Okay, that's the Dolphins right now.
By the way, Patrick Paul was on the Better Than team way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Rick Spielman debated me on that through and through. Didn't believe it. There you go. I got one up on a general manager.
And now where's Rick? He doesn't even work for us.
He's running the Jets. I mean, that just goes to show you, right? They
Rick,
think they
I'll
know.
take care of him.
They think they know, but we know too.
Who would have thought the Dolphins at this point would have the same record as the Chiefs and the Ravens? Same exact record.
I mean, look, Mike McDaniel might be saving his job. They didn't want to fire him to begin with. These wins might have saved his job.
Still, having won all these games, 4 straight, Sportsline giving them a 0.1% chance to make the postseason. They've got to keep winning and win out and get a lot of help as well. All right, those are the games for Week 15, and the agreements finally stopped with Tampa. Right? Well, those are the prime time picks. The agreements finally stopped with Sunday Night Football, Vikings and Cowboys. You had agreed on 9 straight games. I think you guys agreed on, 12 or something this week.
See, but my strategy the rest of the year is find out his picks, agree with all of them, and then I can't lose.
Just stay out in front.
Yeah, but I want to have a good record.
You don't know
I don't want to go that direction.
How do you know my picks if I don't even know my picks?
I don't want to go that way. I want to have a good record.
Nobody hit.
I go to a palm reader every week for my picks.
Nobody hit last week.
The Bears will win.
You know, one
again.
year, you know what's funny? You say that. One year picking games, I was so bad that I decided to let my cat pick. One of my cats make a pick, and I put food on one, and whichever he went to is the pick I picked. And he had a winner.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Cat had a winner.
6 cents.
All right, best bets. Pete, full disclosure here. Pete thought that the Rams-Lions total was 39.
No, I didn't think it was.
So
it was sent on my paper that way.
You thought it was 39.5, so you went over.
I jumped on that damn thing.
It's 54 and
I'm going over anyways. I'm going over anyways. I'll stick with it. Look, Jack told me I could take the 39.5. I'm not taking the 39.5. I'll take the 54.5.
I thought it was like 45 or something.
I thought it would be like in the 50s. So when I saw 39.5, I go, well, yeah, and I didn't want to say anything. I was just going to sneak one in.
It must be the blizzard of a century.
Right here in L.A.
In L.A. inside.
Yeah, right.
So here's the way I look at my best bet. Bills, Patriots over. And you got to think with these two offenses, you got to think between those two guys, they can get to 35 points, let's say, call it to start the fourth quarter, and we know how it goes with these two quarterbacks. At the end of the game,
I think you're breaking your streak this week. You're going to hit your best
I'm going to
bet.
hit this one.
Yes, you
Josh
are.
Allen is going to account for 14 points in the fourth quarter.
You hit it.
Drake
the only
May and
concern
the boys.
is, if you look in history, the second division matchup between teams usually lower scoring.
This one's fun. Bills, Patriots over 49.5.
So when it's 10-7 late in the third quarter.
No!
What will you say the game was?
Tight. I won't be very cool with that.
I just caught a glimpse of the producer pick. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, God,
What
can't
are those
wait.
freaks up to?
What are they doing? What are they doing now?
I'm going Rams-Lions game. I'm going Lions plus 5.5. Detroit 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games as an underdog of 3 or more. I feel like they can keep that close, even in a high-scoring game. Now, to the producer pick. Exotic again.
Here we go.
Kirk Cousins over a half of a rushing yard.
No.
Kirk Cousins to have
I'm
a single yard rushing.
What are we doing with that? Seriously, what are we doing?
It's their pick.
Who made that pick? That's what
I'm going to guess that was little boy
Jack.
Troy.
So if he gets sacked,
There's Cousins celebrating after the game.
you like that?
Well, I mean, all he's got to do is fall forward. And
If he gets sacked, though.
Right.
Sacks don't count in the NFL.
No, they don't count
toward your
against the rushing
yards.
total.
Okay, well, yeah, take it.
So a Cousins scramble, a Cousins quarterback sneak. And it's plus money, Pete. Plus 116.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Also like Jared Goff to score.
Yeah, but you got to pick one.
1,700?
You can't pick that one.
That's going to get him back over 500 for the year if that hits.
Well, this one actually could hit. If
I've got Aaron Rodgers swearing at one of his teammates.
Right.
That's my best bet.
How about Justin Herbert post-game interview?
Walking away.
I got plus 300 that somebody in that Eagles locker room sliced that damn rabbit to shreds. How about that?
I cannot believe that was real. I thought that was fake
No,
news.
I did too.
I thought it was fake news.
I thought
AI slop.
Yeah.
garbage.
Positivity.
I want to know who did Sirianni put that in? I can't imagine he was the one.
What if it was Dom?
It was Big Dom.
Big Dom.
It's the
Hey
dumbest thing
guys,
I've ever
I got
heard.
you's a rabbit.
Positivity.
Go win a game. I love you.
You know what? I need a positivity rabbit in my life.
You got one.
Right here. All right. Good luck, everybody. It's fun. Week 15. It's a full slate. There are no buys anymore. It is full steam ahead to the NFL playoffs.